Senator Coyle, suivi du sénateur Dagenet.
Thank you. Minister Qualtrough, thank you very much for the introduction of this valuable benefit for students, and thanks also for adjusting the benefit. Can you hear me? Okay. Adjusting the benefit amount we're really pleased to see the adjustment for students with disabilities and for students with dependents. In third and fourth year university and through graduate school, I had children, so I see how important these measures are. Also happy to see, however imperfect, the incentives for employment. I agree with my colleagues, that's really critical. Like Senatrice Saint-Germain, my question is about international students. International students, Canadian students, their host universities, Universities Canada are all very concerned, as you probably are aware, that these very legitimate international students who attend our Canadian universities and are present and potential future contributors to Canadian society have been left out of this very important CESB benefit. David Dodge, president of Cape Breton University, has said that in 2020, it's estimated that international students in Canada will stimulate $22 billion in economic activity. Could you explain why this exclusionary decision, I know you said it's connected to your criteria for loans and grants, was taken, and could you please let us know if you would consider adjusting the eligibility criteria for the CESB to include these important international students who are here in Canada now?
Thank you, Senator. Let me begin by saying that we do value the contribution of our international students, and we know that that contribution, as I said, goes well beyond the walls of the post-secondary institutions that they attend. I've also mentioned, which I think is an important piece of this conversation, that they are eligible for the CERB. So the students who were working and whose jobs and income are impacted by COVID are indeed eligible for the CERB. The students international students whose job prospects for the summer are not, and that's a much smaller catchment. As I said, we mirrored this benefit on our broader student financial aid policy within the Government of Canada. And I also think, and I apologize, I wish I had more time to go into, there are significant structural and policy differences between these two benefits, whether it be who is eligible under what circumstances or who we're trying to target with these benefits. And for the CERB, it was very much workers who are resident in Canada and whose employment prospects have changed. That includes international students. And there was a triggering event. They lost a job, their job hours were reduced. For the CESB, it's more anticipatory. We anticipate less job prospects or less employment opportunities. And it's almost a broader eligibility criteria, but a narrower group of people who could apply. And there's, I'm happy to have a longer conversation, Senator. I'm just wary of the time, but I can assure you that the decision was very much connected to our other student financial aid policy, wherein international students are not eligible for other financial aid given by the Government of Canada.
Well, you still have a minute.
Okay. Thank you very much, Minister Qualtrough. I hear what you're saying. I don't necessarily like the answer. I know that we're anticipating 1 million possible applicants for the CESB. When I asked in a technical briefing about the CERB and student participation there, they said 800,000. I couldn't get numbers on international students within those, and so I don't know how many international students are falling between the cracks. Do you have any idea?
I can tell you I don't have, what I do know is that about 43% of students in Canada were working. I can't tell you the breakdown among that student population, if that's international or Canadian citizens or permanent residents. Statistics Canada doesn't gather or desegregate that data that way. Graham, do you have any more data pieces?
So what we are going to do as the benefit moves along is we're going to run the SIN numbers, and the SIN numbers actually for international students have a different code associated with them. So we will be able, working with the revenue agency, to unbundle those things and get you the statistics. But that data analysis is not yet